So here we are starting fresh, new session. I decided to go with look at that beautiful car. Decided to go with the one of the new liveries, one of the ones I like. So let's go ahead and jump in here and load that setup, which is basically just the aggressive. So at least the tire temps should be close. Again, we might have to do some small adjustments because as you change the balance of the car, it can change the temperature of the tires. So again, we're probably going to have to go and do a few changes, I'm sure, as far as that goes. Um, Now, a lot of times I take a look at this and decide where's the biggest, things I need to start with. Arrow here is not real bad, so I will probably not do that right now. Um, I will probably start here at this end and try to get basically the tire difference or the temperatures here um, more basically accurate and more performance oriented, um, and try to get some of these alignment issues uh, adjusted. So of course the tires should be good, but I'm gonna basically go. You know, a lot of times the blistering. We had the blister up here on the left front on that stint, and of course a lot of times, you know, and it always gets too much heat in this left front. The AMG here at Zandvoort, for ever since ACC came out, you end up turning this thing yellow and getting this left front hot. And so really, I try to take every bit of toe out that I can, and to where at least you're not scrubbing the tire as little as you have to. At least that's the idea. Now, again, you got the caster and the camber. I'm going to go ahead and knock this down. Um, a little bit since it has too much negative camber, and just basically knock this down a little bit too, the caster, as there is some stability issues here, but I also need the car to react and turn really as pretty much instantly. So we're going to go ahead and knock that all down just a little bit. Um, as far as the rear, it's the same thing, but it's not as bad as the front because, like I said, it's usually this left front that's taking all the abuse. But let's go ahead and just take some and try some of this, and that also helps with speed as far as down the straightaway and things like that. So because obviously you're not basically dragging tires as far as going down the straightaways. So camber, I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with this one, just a little bit, and just to get a starting point. Um, there we go. Just to get a starting point, we might have to go back the other way a little bit. I'm just knocking it down, 2 or 3 clicks, kind of like they did with the with the front. Now, of course, you have basically, the AMG is pretty much 50-50. So it's actually, the front to rear is not a drastic difference since the weight is basically very well balanced on the AMG. Of course, electronics, I'll probably just go ahead and leave it the way it is for right now. And of course, this is the same as it was before. So I'm going to go ahead and start with 60 brake bias. Turn that down 1. But let's just basically, I don't want to get too fast, too much too fast, so you guys can follow along. Of course, you can always, basically, comments. If there's a question you want to ask, feel free to always ask a question in the comments below. And also, so let's do a few little warm up laps just to see how this does. Probably do like 4 laps. That includes the out lap, and now we're going to put this back up here on that one, and that way the other aggressive will stay the same. see what it does. I'm interested to see what it feels like as far as that, rolling that the way that it wants to turn and grab, and just react. I'm interested to see if that helps it or not. And it's not just all the negative camber. A lot of it might be some of the negative toe that it had also, making it feel that way. Yeah, I think it feels better already just by that. Still wants to understeer though, of course, because we didn't change any of the balance. So again, I think we need to get the car to rotate better. It definitely is not rotating enough. Whoa!
Got some light damage on the
that's
front.
not good. Not good. Too aggressive. Well, that's what happens. Let's start on number 2. I'll go back to number 1. Let's go back to number 1 because I just want to make some warm-up laps. Try this again. But yeah, I just want to go on number 1 because I'm just wanting to get some warm-up laps. This thing can snap out quick. See that turn there? I actually like to feed it gas to get the back end to come around. But when the tires are cold, it's not the greatest of ideas. Really want to get kind of a tire check too, just to make sure everything is. Turns a lot better right through there. Well, let's see if we can get through this turn this time. Better. Yeah, I just don't like the way it's coming off the corner. It's just don't seem like it has the grip it needs to have. oversteer and then understeer, and it's going back and forth. The front's already getting warm already. Yeah, it feels a lot better through the turn. It doesn't feel like I'm on a razor's edge.
Well done, mate. That's all the best.
Just one more lap. Not a terrible time. God, it's too hot. All right.
Well done, mate. That's all the best.
Not a bad time. Tires don't look too bad. So let's take a look. First, what did I do that for? I should have done that. Yeah, it's only 4 laps. But that's okay. So you got probably go up 1 here, 1 here. That's good enough. Okay, you got 6 degrees here and 5 degrees here. So I'm gonna knock this down 1 more. And this is only 4, and that's 4, so that's actually can go the other way. So we need to go back up. And see, like I said, I mean, not a big difference between the front and rear as far as the alignment. It's just the way the car is balanced. There's not that drastic difference between this and the front end. So let's do a couple clicks on the rear. 4 degrees is a little on the tight side. See if we can get any, see if it likes it or not. Let's look at the wear. 284, 286, 292, 290. So, you know, again, it's always going to wear the front faster. But we're going to see if we can help that. So that's pretty much in the ballpark for right now. I mean, I know we're going to do some more adjustments, but you know, again, I just wanted to double check on the tire temps, and also I want to see where we're at, you know, make the adjustments on the negative camber and just basically alignment adjustments, and then basically check the tire spread between the inner and outer, do some adjustments on, you know, adjust that again, and then we'll move on to the next one. Let's move on to mechanical. That's a pretty big one. So mechanical, we did adjust the brake bias down to 60, but that's still not that much. So, but I mean, let's start from the top and we'll work our way down. Any roll bar, I mean, again, I'd run more than this usually. You know, you want the car in the front to stay flat. You do not want the car to be pitching on any one corner in the front, just for the fact as, you know, these cars are very aero dependent. And if it starts rolling like that, it's going to start losing some of its aero efficiency. So I'm going to make a pretty big jump on the anti-roll bar. We'll move it up to 5 on the front. That should really hold the front end down a little bit better as far as keeping it flat and true and not rolling to one corner or the other. Brake bias, 60 felt pretty good, so let's try 59. So we will go down one more on the brake bias, which is still not a ton for the AMG. It's got good brakes, but you know, you got to have everything working together to do that. Now, something that I see here that definitely I don't like is the springs in the front, in my opinion, are too heavy. The AMG is one of these cars that does not like heavy rate springs. So it's one of the cars that does, just every time I've done it, the older one's even worse. The pre-EVO, the 2015, it's even worse than this one. This one has more aero grip in the front, so you can run a little bit more spring in the front, but basically every time I try to run a stiffer spring, it ends up causing more wear. And like right now, even with it is now, you feel like the tire is not gripping the road. That's what it feels like to me. That's the way it's telling me that it's just not gripping the road. So, just for y'all, just to make a note, any people out there that are mess around with the setups for AMGs, the way I do it, I don't ever run higher than 155,000. That's as I've tried it. Basically above that, I've tried the 171,000. It does not work for me. It just doesn't. The 155 does, but even then, it's not always. So we're just going to go down one click at it. We'll do that. So you usually got 155, 143, or all the way down. Those are the three that I use. Usually that one is usually for a super slick track or rain setup. I just go all the way down. And then a lot of setups I either use the 143 or the 155. So let's try the 155. That should help with some of the tire wear, I'm hoping. Let's go up on the bump stop rate. And now this is going to make the car react faster by a long way. It got a lot of bump stop range in it. This track isn't that bumpy. So I don't know why there's so much, it doesn't really have that big of bumps. So let's try this. This will help the car react as far as when you turn it. It'll react instantly instead of waiting. So the rear end I'll bring down a little bit so it reacts also, but nothing drastic. The rear springs. Now again, those are pretty light. So we don't mind increasing the wear for the rear because right now we have too much wear in the front and not enough in the back. So let's go one more click in the rear. That'll also help the car rotate, especially mechanical grip when you're into slower turns. when you have a stiffer spring over the front, anytime you can run a stiffer spring, it's going to help rotate it. Now, this still got a stiffer spring in the front here than you do back here, but anytime you up the spring in the back, it's going to help the car rotate, especially in the mechanical, the slower turns especially. Any roll bar is 5, and the preload and the diff is 60. I'm going to go ahead and turn that down 1. So let's just try that, and let's just try that. So let's go with there. Oh shoot, let's go to number two tire. So we did any roll bar, brake bias we went down 1, springs we went down 1, bump stop rate we went up to 900, bump stop range you went down to 10, and that again helps the car stay flatter as far as the bump stop rate and range, because the car's not going to, it's not going to let it bottom out on the brakes or too much pitch, and it's also going to make the car react faster when you turn. And basically the same in the rear. Any roll bar, we basically went back 1 on that, and we're leaving the preload on the diff alone for right now at 60. So let's try it with the combination of the adjustments on the alignment. Much better. This turn is just not turning the way I want it to through there. Lap 1. Look at that. Turned better through there, and that's probably because the car is staying flatter. This thing feels a lot better. Oh shoot. I don't know if I can stay out of the grass. One more lap. Dang it. Almost equal to our other time. So that's good. And it feels a lot better. Just my shoes here. Fix my shoes. So let's take a look. Still have 6 degrees here. 5 here. Let's go down there. This is 5 here now. And that's 4. So it's a little better. Still 4 over here. It's gone up to 5. So let's try that and see how it works. So I think it is a good improvement. The car feels much better. Let's go back to 12. We'll just go back to that caster and see if that helps a little bit with some of the stability issues. I knocked it down to see if I can get the car to basically maybe turn a little bit sharper, but I don't think it's making that much of a difference, so we'll just put it back where it was. Let's look at the tires. A little bit more wear on the number when we tried it the first time. It just seems like it's better here, a little bit better, not drastically, but it is a little bit better. So let's move on to the next one. Of course, now we got shocks or aero. The shocks, I'm basically just going to make a couple, in general, I call it adjustments. Basically just run this up 1 like this. Now again, the balance is almost 50%. Even though the engine's in the front, it's kind of like a front mid-engine. So it's really with the AMG, I've had a lot of success at keeping the shocks close, if not the same, on all four corners. I'm going to not have them the same, but they're not going to be far from, not going to be far apart either. So let's leave it at that. Let's just small adjustments. Basically, again, the bump is an adjustment to where the car, you don't want it to bottom out under load, or you don't want, you're trying to keep the tire in contact with the road. I mean, that's the whole job of the shock, is to keep the tire in contact with the road over bumps, or over uneven parts of the pavement. So basically, and you don't want it to bottom out. You don't want the shock to bottom out, because then it's going to unload. You're going to lose the tire is going to lose traction. So, we want to stiffen it up a little bit over some of these, high load areas. Very small, just one click. So again, it's just a small thing. I try to run a teeny bit softer in the front sometimes to help with that grip, but very little difference. Let's go to the aero. This is where probably the biggest deal is here, is the aero, because this is what changes the balance of the car. And of course, now we already got the brake ducts; those will stay the same. We've already adjusted those. The ride height is actually lower than I thought would work. I figured this would be hitting stuff, but so far it's not too bad. It seems to be working pretty decent. So right now, I'll probably not. I was thinking about going up. We got a front aero variation of 0.5 to the positive, so that's where we're at right now. If you go up, it's going to go to 0.3. So that's nearly not a bad thing, because it gives you a teeny bit more clearance. And what I'm wanting to do is to get the ride height in the back to come up, because that's what's going to change your understeer. You got to get the weight up on the front, and that'll change some of this understeer issues that I'm having in some of those turns, because the car definitely understeers, especially worse later. So now we're back to 0.6, especially in the slower corners. So you have that. The wing's at 7. It goes to 11. So 7's pretty good. I really don't want to go much more. I wouldn't mind trying maybe 8. And see, that'd knock it down to 0.1. But in the slower corners, you're going to have help, because this ride height's going to be up. And that's what this helps a lot with basically the slower corners, like that real tight horseshoe turn there. The car's going to react a lot faster through there. Any kind of right left, it's going to, when you have the ride height in the back up, it's going to make it react quicker. When you have it down, it's going to be slower. The back end, the car's not going to rotate as fast. So let's try this there just to see what it does. And we raise the front 1, raise the rear 2, and raise the wing 1. So we did a lot of adjustments here, and our front aero variation now is less than what it was. It's only 0.1, where it was 0.5 before. So we've actually, but it should help in the places we need help and not in others. So let's look at one lap, because I want to just have everybody look at it. Especially, this is where I always check it, as far as like straightaway speed. So that's our fast lap. So let's look at our fast lap. This is what I look at to see what is going on with, to get a judgment. So before I can get on the brakes, I'm doing 157. It touched 157. Like I said before, when I did the hot stint, it was doing the same thing with the aggressive setup. Again, 156, 157. So I just use that as a judging tool to see how it does, because I don't want to, I don't want to make a huge difference as far as that. Oh, the car looks good going through here. That's the trouble turn there, is getting that car to rotate through there. So let's try that. Let's try this. What in the heck is... I want to make sure we're on the right tire. Yeah, we're number 3s. Okay. I want to make sure of that. And then we will... See, I did 4 laps here. And I did 4 laps here. So let's try to do 4 laps. I also want to see if I can up the brake bias to get some more braking improvement. So I might do 2 laps with that, and then up the brake and see what we can do. But see, I can adjust that on the fly. See how it does in the first lap. Like that there, again, you raise the rear ride height. It's going to help it turn. Like hitting that bump here and hitting some of these other stuff. It's got kind of, raising it up 1, give you a little bit more clearance. Right here, hitting this. Going over that. Main one is this curb right here, which it doesn't seem to. This curb on the right-hand side. Turning really nice through there. It's very linear. It's not snapping. Oh yeah, we gained a little bit already.
Well done, mate. Personal best.
curbs. It's not good. Lap. See what we can do here. All right, pretty accurate, pretty consistent. Still 6 degrees, 5. Let's go down 1. These are about even. That's 5 degrees, and that is 5 degrees. So that's good. That's not bad. So they're all 5 degrees except this left front 6. So that's not real bad. Let's go to the wear. Yeah, it's getting a little closer. It's a little closer. If you compare a little bit more. Yeah, but we went a little faster too, so it goes both ways. These tires were exactly the same. It's just this left front was a little teeny bit more wear than before. Very small. So, but I like it. The car felt very steady, very solid. One thing I would like to try is let's go down 1 on the springs, because again that will help with the wear issue. It'll help with, if I can get this to come up 1 or 2 more, that'll be even closer to this, and keep this about the same. That would be really good. So let's knock this down 1, because I knocked it down to 58 the last couple laps, and it felt pretty good. So let's just knock this down 1 more so we can start at 58 brake bias. and then we can always go down to 57 and see if it works. And of course, a lot of times that's what I do in the hot stint. I'll start, try to find a good balance point, but then I want to be able to turn that up some more as the car, the balance goes to where a certain understeer to help it rotate. So that's a good way to adjust while you're, during the race. So let's see. What else? So basically what we adjusted, brake bias, and then we adjusted the springs in the front, and we'll go ahead and check that. There's some other things that we can do, but I'm trying to not to go too fast. I want to raise this one more. So let's go one more, just one click of ride height. I like this in the front. I think this works good so far. We got clearance. We're not hitting anything. Oh, I know what I want to check. But we'll do that when we get ready to go back on the track. So basically, all we did is click one on the ride height. Again, this to help the car to rotate. That's what we're trying to accomplish. We adjusted the brake bias down one, like I had it during that last little stint. And we also knocked the springs down one. That's what I'm really interested in seeing, is how that reacts. Will I lose performance? Will it better tire wear? Or we get nothing? So let's do that. Now, what I want to check is the speed, since we did that, and that's lap 10. So let's check this. I just want to check it compared to what we were doing before. It should be close. But, see it saying flat right through there? It doesn't even look like you're hardly turning the wheel, and it's turning. That's what I like. And that makes really help at the end. 156. So basically we lost maybe a mile an hour at the most. That's all we lost. Probably because, we're coming off the turn better than we were. Let me see, there's another good lap. That's at the end there too. That was another, but that's not going to show us at the end. So let's see what this one is. Check another one. But, I'm coming off of there not lifting. So I'm probably getting a little bit more momentum coming off of that turn. I'm almost to where I get in 6th gear. That hit 157 just for a split second. So it's probably not even a mile an hour. It's probably like a half a mile an hour. So see, I'd rather have the extra wing and the same speed, because that means you can get more aggressive through all the turns. You can be more aggressive on brakes, more aggressive in the car and more confidence, and have more confidence. That's the big thing. That's the big X factor, so to speak. Especially through here. I mean, you want the wing through there, because you want the car to be grabbing, not dancing with it. It's going over the bumps really good too. Okay, so I like it. So let's try another stint, another 4 laps. Of course, even when I do the hot stint, a lot of times I have to do some other small adjustments, because I may do a half a hot stint and not like it, or it's falling off, or it's not, it's whatever. And as I said, the aggressive was good, wasn't bad at all. But I didn't like the car feels so much better now. It doesn't feel like it's, it feels linear. You're turning and it turns. It doesn't, just think about it, and then all of a sudden, bam, it turns like crazy. Of course, lowering the front spring gives the front more grip. Of course, if it's too soft, then it can be, you start tearing the tire up. Feels really good through there.
This has been your personal best.
Well, picking up some time. Not as much as I wanted. All right.
Well done, mate. Personal best.
See, now I can just drive it into here now. All right. Definitely picked up. Finally beat the best lap from the aggressive setup. So you're back up to 7 degrees over here, 5 over here. So that's, again, that's why this left front just takes such a thrashing. Lower the toe just even a little more. You're looking at 5 degrees there, 5 degrees here. So again, that looks good. This needs to come down a little bit. Of course, the temperature's gone up a degree. This all looks pretty good. That's on that side's fine. See, we're going faster and faster, and you go faster and faster, and you build up more heat. So, look at the wear. Well, we're down to 2. So that was we had a bigger spread on that. So now I think we got a little bit more wear on the rear, and that, which is fine. I mean, if you can't get the front tire to have less wear, then we need to increase the wear on the rear. I mean, that way it's at least close. I mean, this here is the opposite because there's always such a high load on the left side, but it's only 1 apart, so that's not real bad. But the load side, we want to keep as close as we can, and like I said, that's. There's a new one there, and it's only 2 apart, and this is only 1 apart still. See, that stayed the same, but now this is that. So again, that tells me, can we do some other adjustments? Can we go down in the brake bias even some more? So that's something, again, this looks to me really good right here. I don't know if I would want to change it anymore. It feels really solid. It's rotating good. I like this spring better. It feels like it's got more grip in the slower stuff. And the only other thing we can do would be some of these bump stops. Maybe just try it, but it's again, it's a small adjustment. I mean, it's really pretty decent right here. There's some things that I wouldn't mind trying. The mess with the preload on the diff. It does seem to have a little bit of oversteer. But again, now you might be able to. You can also run one more on the TC, and it would probably not have that. So again, it just depends on what you like. Again, the main thing is tire wear. That you're trying to keep that, decent. But this is things that I try to see if I pick up any, and then, go from there. The shocks seem really good. There, anything on that would be very small adjustment. Just keep looking to see if there's anything I can think of that I think I would want to try that we can maybe get a little bit better performance. I'm gonna knock these down one more on the toe because I'm just trying. I know this left front's still getting a little yellow, and it still concerns me a little bit. I mean, a little yellow's all right, but it starts getting a little bit more yellow. I don't like that. It's a little concerning. Now we could open up the brake ducts some more and run 5, but I mean that would be the next thing to do. So now we can try that too. Let's open that one more. So we're going to have to readjust the tire pressures in the front because it's probably going to make the tires run I'm going to go ahead and put this back up a couple tenths. You can try it just to see if it keeps this left front a little cooler. Because, I mean, that's the whole battle, is this one left front tire. I mean, you end up just destroying it because you just overwork it and overwork it and overwork it. Let's go down 1 on the preload on the diff and see how that works. See if we can gain some time. So again, small adjustments. We just a little bit less on the negative on the toe. We went up to 5 on the brake duct on the front, trying to keep that left front tire cool. And change the diff down to 50, just 1 click down on that. I'm also going to change the brake bias down to 57. 1 more click down again. Try that. So let's do that. Run the right tire. So let's do this. But you raise the rear end too much, ride height, I mean, and the car starts getting nervous in the back, and so I really don't want to get that. I mean, it does that a little bit just like there, but I mean, that's when the tires are cold. I don't mind it. These turns, especially this one, is so slick. It does not want to get grip right there. All right, well, I can keep that going. Lost it all. Jeez. It's pushing through there. adjustments. That was no good. Yeah, I don't like it. We need to adjust the tires anyway. It's losing it through that one corner. It's really good through here, this first section. And I lose it all coming through this next section. Well, I was wondering if that was going to do something.
Got some light damage on the front.
So you don't want to hit the curb. Don't want to hit the curb. See, that's what I'm afraid of. I hit that hole. There's a hole right before that thing. I was on a good run, too. Still about 2 apart. That's 2 apart over here now. And that's because of that rear brake. I don't know if that really helped anything, really. See, so that's something that you might want to do when the car is starting to understeer. You know, when you've gotten some fuel off and the car maybe feels like it's a little understeery, then you can go ahead and start doing that. So right now, I would probably keep it at 58. And then you can go down from there. I might even go back down 1 here. Yeah, let's try that, because the back end feels a little slidey. And also, let's just try this. Take some of the bump stops to get the car to react even quicker. And also lessen, it reacts faster and it pitches less. When you tighten up the bump stop range, it's not going to pitch on that corner as much. So going through, like that bowl going through there, or going, that long sweeper onto the front straightaway. I mean, it's not going to pitch as much if you tighten up the bump stop range. So let's just tighten that up a little bit. See if that helps, because obviously the car likes it when it's flatter, because then the aero is working to its maximum. We still had 7 degrees here. I need to raise this up. this down. Actually, this looks like, well, it's kind of hard to say because we were sliding. So I raised it up a couple, front and rear. Let's go down 1. So let's try that and see how that works. This almost should be the same. Really close to it. I wasn't really noticing the tire either to see how it was as far as it being yellow. It looked like it was not barely turning yellow, so that's actually a good thing. So let's try this now and see how this goes. So we raised the brake bias back up to 58 because I think all it's doing is making the back end want to slide a little bit, and you're overworking it a little bit too much. It'd be great for going down to 57 when the tires start wearing, or your fuel balance starts wearing or starts consuming, and you got the tires start wearing on the front, and you can use that to help the car rotate. That's fine, but I think it needs to stay at 58. That's where it looks like it likes it. We knocked this down 1, just again to keep the front the car solid. But we still have the diff at 50. Let's leave it there and just see if we can improve upon that. And of course, we adjusted some tire pressures. So let's try that. If it feels good, I might run an extra couple laps. I don't know. Let's see. But, if it feels decent. Or what I might do is run a couple extra 2-3 laps and then turn it down with the brake bias and see if that makes it unstable. That's not good. These tires don't have their grip yet. Lost some time. Doesn't feel as good through here as it did. Screwed that all up. You gotta cut so close to that or you run wide, especially right now, without, taking the ride height down in the back. And see, it's not rotating through there good enough either. See, that's going to build up more heat in the left front. I don't like it. So that's no good. And look at the thing. Good grief. See, that's how hot this left side is just, it's just cooking it. That's why that left side just wears it so fast. You know, it's at 3. That's back down to 1. I'm going to put this back up. In fact, I'm going to do 2. Let's go the other way, because I sure liked it the other way better. We'll see if it makes the back end too nervous. Let's put this back, because it seemed like it was better with the bump stops the other way also. So let's put that back where it was. Everything else will leave. Yeah, everything else will leave. So we basically all we did is raise the rear up, back up 2. So we lowered it 1 down to 75. Now it went up 2 up to 77, and see if it feels better through there. Our front aero variation now is up to 0.4. It was down to like what, 0.1 or something. 0. It's like 0.1. So now we're up to 0.4. So that's a pretty decent difference. Let's try that. Take that a lot better, and through here a lot better. It's not going to want to run wide. Turn here is just the slickest turn. Much better. The tires aren't even up to temp yet. Nope. Nope. So that tells me that we're going to have to be more careful going into that turn. See, again, the back end now is wanting to come around and rotate too much. So we're going to have to take that turn a little different. Again, you got to change the way you drive. But see, again, it's a compromise between one turn and another turn. If you're gaining everywhere else, maybe that one turn you got to take it a little differently. Let's try it again. Definitely reached the limit as far as rotation. I don't want to add another wing, really. See if we can just change the way we drive. Need to brake a little earlier and just brake and hit it, get off. Again, see, it's going to start sliding through there. See what happens when tires get the temperature. I hate making any judgment unless the car is really bad when it's cold, when the tires are cold. Because, I mean, unless it's undrivable or you're just, you can't even really get around the track or something. I mean, it's really hard to make a judgment on cold tires because, I mean, the car's not going to act the same. And I can't tell you how important that turn is right there. And, I mean, staying matted all the way through it. Because obviously turn one is the best place to pass. too deep. That's too deep. Tires are hot on the left side too. So it seems like they're just sliding. Man, yeah, it's getting hotter and hotter because now the track is at 26. And this track gets greasy. Well, it's still only two on each, two there. I might have to increase that to 4. Leave that alone. Let's raise it 1. Of course, these are cold on this side. So, so far, I mean, we picked up, but I mean, I think there's more there. It's just trying to find the correct balance in it. That's the issue. I might even take one off the splitter in the front to get the front end to. See, the problem is one turn it turns good, or it oversteers, and another turn it understeers. So that's the problem. And Zandvoort, there's always a balance between your giving and taking between one turn and the other. You can't get every turn dead perfect. You got to pick to where your strengths are, and try to get through this turn, but maybe you're strong here, so make sure you stay strong there, and then make adjustments to where it's a give and take. Because otherwise, you just can't get every single turn just right. There's just too many variables, too many different turns and things like that. So I think I'm going to leave it there, and because this video has been pretty long. And of course, well, I shouldn't save the video. We're gonna stop from right here and basically pick up after the hot stint, and then that way you can see what we've changed, what we haven't changed, and see if how many things we stayed the same. And of course, I won't bore you through going through the hot stint, and I can basically do that and then come back and go through everything. Now, if you don't like that and you rather in future videos me go through the whole hot stint and things that I find, then please, your comments are really appreciated. If you don't mind it like it this way, where you're not watching all that, that's fine. So either way, I mean, I just like to do what y'all like. I don't mind as far as recording, as far as having the video go through the hot stint and all that, but I just bore everybody. So again, your comments are golden, and I always appreciate all your feedback. But of course, you guys will pick right back up after the hot stint, and of course we can go over in more detailed what I changed and for what reason. Right now, the car is good. For a few laps, but can it stay good for 30 minutes? That's a whole nother aspect of ACC and endurance racing. I mean, you see, we've done 26 laps. Even the last lap. Oh wow! I had 2 laps in the exact same time. Wow, 36.066. That's crazy. Wow. But we ran a 1:35.88, so that's like 2/10, almost 2/10 faster than the fastest lap of the aggressive. So that's good. Of course, I'm running a lot of 36 O's. There's 2 right in a row there, but the thing is, what can we do on a hot stint? And that's what I got to make sure that I want to have be as consistent as I can. So I sure hope you stick with you through the end of the video. And of course, we'll be right back to check the hot stint out.